Hey everybody, welcome back. Hey, I had a number of people ask about the wood pellet stoves and how hard are they to install. I'm going to show you. We decided to go ahead and get one, and it's not hard. I'm going to show you how easy it is, and you're just talking about collectively an afternoon, a few hours to do it. I do take your emails seriously, and I am going to show you the easiest installation of a pellet stove. And as a bonus for watching, I'm going to show you how you can save a lot of money with a few tricks I've used at the end of this video. So keep watching. Let's go ahead and get started. Hey, for those of you that are new here, my name is Jim, and I do like to build stuff. And this channel is dedicated to all the things doing just that, along with the helpful tips and tricks of not only building stuff, to ways to save money with all your own projects. Now just remember, this is how I build stuff, so be sure to read and follow instructions on how to use your manufactured products. And be sure to always wear safety glasses. That's a little nod to my friend Norm. Okay, since a lot of you have asked what a pellet stove is, I will quickly go over what a pellet stove is, and later we'll go over the biggest reasons why you might want one. Now, a pellet stove is a heating appliance that burns compressed wood or biomass pellets, okay, to generate heat. What is a pellet, you ask? This is a fuel pellet. They use mainly wood byproducts such as sawdust or small wood particles to make them with. Now, they usually come in 40-pound bags for about $6, depending on where you are in the country. Now, here's a breakdown of how it works. Now, it uses a hopper to store the pellets. Now, I do like this one here because it stores 80 pounds worth of pellets. An automated system feeds the pellets into what they call a burn pot by way of an auger. Next, the pellets are ignited automatically, producing a consistent flame. A blower circulates the heat like a central air heating does, unlike traditional wood stoves that radiate the heat. Now I'll show you more on this with all the temperatures, and of course, the bonus I promised you earlier. Okay, let's go ahead and go from delivery to making heat with this bad boy. Now, this is a comfort-built HP42 pellet stove. But real quick, I just want to let you know that I did purchase everything myself for this review, and I'm not being sponsored to do this video for anybody else. The trucking company did deliver it with some of the box damaged. Now, just a quick note, they say to go ahead and open the box and look for any damage before accepting it from the shipper. Anyways, we did get it unpacked, and for the most part, it was packaged very well. But as you'll see, my wife spots where the side was pushed in. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you how easily to fix that. Hey, and be sure to look in the hopper for installation parts. Hey, I was going to go ahead and pull off one side of the panels anyways, so I chose the one that needed some straightening done. So I just removed the upper and lower screws to release the side panel. As you can see, the panel is bent. Don't panic. Just lay it down on a couple side pieces from the box so you're not marking it up, and lightly step on the bent area back to straight. It's that simple. Now next, before reinstalling the side panel, go through and check all your wire connections inside here. Sometimes during shipment, some may come loose. So this is just so you don't have any problems later. Okay, let's go ahead and put the panel back in place and tighten the screws. Now remember, right is tight. So that looks much better now, nice and straight. Next, let's get the controller installed, which is just a couple of screws here. Now you will need to insert the controller wire connection into the back, and be sure that you firmly set it in place. Just so you kind of hear a little bit of a click, and that means it's locked in. Now let's go ahead and insert the plug into the back like this, right below the on and off switch. It just plugs in, no problem. Now we put some pellets in the hopper and plugged it in so we can do a burn off. Another note that they say is a good idea is to heat the stove up outside prior to install, just to burn off some of the smells like heat paint or, off gases. You'll need a pipe kit. Now the kit is much cheaper than trying to purchase all these pieces separately. So, and if you do have any left over, you can always sell them. Trust me, they're like gold. Now I'll show you how you get it a little bit cheaper in just a few minutes. Now the exhaust pipe is a 3-inch wall pipe that interlocks with each other. Now this here is a fresh air inlet kit, and most manufactured homes do require it. Now, I use them every time on a stove that comes with it. Okay, I mean, I don't care if it's a wood burning stove, what have you. I'd rather have it bring the air from the outside in than to burn up the air on the inside. Hey, another quick note is to extend the fresh air tube prior to the final hookup because you will want it to accordion back in when you push in the stove towards the wall. Now, after locating the wall studs with the stud finder, now I lined up the stove with the first piece in so I can get the center of the hole through the wall. Now I marked both the pipe, which helps find the center where you need to drill, and the wall thimble, yes, it's called a thimble, is the outer circle, which is the main hole needed. So I used a long drill bit to go through the inner and outer wall and try to use a level to get the holes straight with each other. Remember to have your stove on the fireproof board like this one. Now, once through the first pilot hole, I used a level on the drill to make the outer hole. Now I drilled the second hole just so I can feel around and make sure the electrical wires in the wall are not in our way. Just want to be sure to not have a bad day if I hit one. I used my oscillating tool to cut the thimble hole. Now, you don't have to be perfect here since the thimble's going to cover it. Now onto the outside hole. Now I used a pilot hole and the same size bit to do a makeshift circle jig. And then I got that hole cut out. Okay, you can go ahead and insert the thimble, but be careful. Okay, let's be sure that it's level and let's go ahead and attach it to the wall. 4 screws. Next is the fresh air intake. As you can see, I waited to drill this hole because the original hole would have put me right into a stud. Next, attach the head vent to the expandable duct with a hose clamp that's provided and mount it on the wall. Now we're going to go and get it sealed up with caulking inside and out. Next, the inner beauty ring, which has a sticky tape on it to attach it to the wall. Now this is the adapter that goes on first, but put some heat resistant caulking on the inside of the adapter, just like this. Now I also put a generous amount around the exhaust too. Now I put the pipes together prior to install to make sure everything lined up correctly and was level. And then I marked the adapter like this. So I make sure those lined up and everything went in right. Now, once you put the clean out on, just go up with the rest of the piping and twist locking them into place. Now, since I wanted the stove as close to the wall as possible, I needed to go ahead and shim the wall mount out 3 inches. Otherwise, 2 2x4s glued and screwed together. I did put some copper coat on the bare wood too. Now it's time to go ahead and caulk the rest of it so there's no air draft into the house. And trust me, there will be if you don't do this. Now, I'm not too worried about the look of it. We'll be painting everything in the near future. So here's what it looks like and how close to the wall you can get. It also comes with a cheap infrared remote. And this is the pellet hopper here that's big enough for 2 40-pound bags of pellets. I like that. I didn't want to have to keep loading it up and, I can just load it and forget it for a while. Now I started after the caulking was dry. I went to 24 hours and got it up to temp. Here, let's go ahead and go around the stove and check for the temperature differences. Now, you may be surprised about this, but look at this. Outside air coming in at 66 degrees. The double wall exhaust is at 70 degrees and 270 degrees air blowing out the front. And the temp on the sides, as you can see. And last but not least, let's go to the top of the stove and see what's there. Great air management here, guys. Okay, let's go ahead and go over why you might want one of these. First is efficiency. The pellet stoves are known for their high efficiency, meaning they convert a large percentage of the pellet fuel into usable heat. Next, convenience. The automated feeding system and the thermostats allow you to easily set the temperature control and let it go. Environmental friendliness. Pellets are often made with recycled wood waste, okay, making them more of a sustainable fuel source than fossil fuels or trees. Consistent heat. They provide a very consistent heat output, okay? You set it, like I said, and forget it. Set your temperature. It works really well. Next is relatively clean burning. Okay, modern pellet stoves are designed to burn cleanly, producing fewer emissions than traditional wood stoves. For example, have you ever lived in an area where they had a lot of homes that had fireplaces and you get up in the morning, you see this layer of smoke from the fireplaces that you have to breathe and it's just not good. And that cloudy haze all over the neighborhood. Now, you won't see or breathe that from a pellet stove, and a whole lot less ashes to clean up from a traditional fireplace or wood stove. I mean, it burns that cleanly, burns that efficiently. Essentially, pellet stoves offer a convenient, efficient, and relatively eco friendly way to heat your home. Now, my take on this stove and advice I have for you. Now, the stove works very well and is worth every penny of it. And my advice to you is to get a bigger one than you need. Now, this one is over 1,000 square feet larger than the house calls for, and it burns a lot less pellets. It doesn't struggle at all to supply the heat, and only a few $100s more. Worth the money. Don't don't take it to the edge, say that's what I need, you won't be happy. About the comfort built stoves, they have a cheap remote that only works if you're real close to it and you got firm line of sight there. Otherwise, a remote's worthless and you're already up anyways trying to get it to work. Go ahead and just push a button or have it scheduled to come on every day. Either way, would I buy another comfort built brand? Sure, I would. They seem to be built well and at a good price. Speaking of prices, I promised to give you the ins and outs of ordering this stuff. Let me show you some prices from store to store, and you'll see how you can save a little money here too. So, yeah, I found it kind of funky, but now here's the pipe kit I used. And as you can see, it's $269 in this area. So I added it to the cart at this location and a nearby store, which is 37 miles away. Then we can add it to the cart. And what price is it now? $299. $30 more than the other store. Now, if you live in a bigger city, you might find more of it. But just to let you know that you can check other Home Depots, and if it's within driving distance or, save some money. But I wasn't gonna drive the 37 miles up and spend more money on it. So now the thing is, I did end up getting this kit for $209 at Lowe's. Okay, that's saving $90 from that other place that had it, Home Depot. Now I'll put all the links for everything in the description and on top of comments for you. So you don't have to go looking for things. You can just, if you want to get the same package I just showed you, there you go. Oh, by the way, and I did even check Amazon for the same pipe kit, and it was $300 plus. Okay, now they do have some other ones that are way up into the 500s, and I don't understand that one. And since I'm remote, I couldn't get any of this locally, so I did order the stove through Amazon, which is $162 cheaper than anyone else, and shipping was free. Now, I went to Home Depot and we talked about it. We are going to order one. They wanted to charge me $79 delivery. And I figured, no, that's not good at all. But like I said, and with your tax license and you're holding off paying that tax until you sell the item, you can save a lot of money. Okay, guys. Hey, if you do have any questions, place them in the comment area. I will answer them along with my other builders and viewers on here that have experience in building stuff. Hey, remember, be sure to subscribe and like this video. It helps YouTube to push it out to other like-minded people such as yourself. If you could do that, I'd appreciate it.